So now an individual at the time of his birth, or the so called the first the point of choice, he not only has an initial condition of which values he gives more importance to when compared to others, he also has a starting direction. Just like in a relay race, you start from where the previous person has ended. Now that means every person in the relay, you can call it as, think of as a dasha. So when one dasha ends, he gives the stick to the next person running the race. So the next dasha starts and it continues, and at the end he gives the sticks to the next person. Like a relay race, it runs, and there is a specific order in which they come. So you will try to understand the influence of this on the human life. See, here you can see a dog that is tied to one center. So as long as the dog just runs within the limits of the string, it wouldn't feel the limitation at all. So as long an individual tries to accept the experiences that are in line with his initial condition, it's a smooth journey. But the moment the dog tries to ask for something that is outside the limit, the string will prevent, or the initial condition would prevent the individual, and that is when the individual feels that there is something that is restricting him from achieving. So he starts to understand the lens with which he sees the movie on the theater. Similarly, dasha is like a cage with a bird inside. So, and as long as the bird is happy to be within the overall direction given by the dasha, or the outer cage boundary, it is easy. But the moment the bird tries to want to experience something outside the cage, then the difficulty starts. It's like a freedom inside, but limitation on the boundary. Freedom outside, but the limitation on the center. These are two kinds of limitations an individual is subject to on a given life. Now, if you take a cube, the oscillation of the cube, you have 6 faces of the cube, so you oscillate clockwise, anti-clockwise, just like breathing in, breathing out. So the oscillation 6 into 2, 12 creates the 12 rasis. Now at the same time, you can walk over the surface of the cube, like you can walk in the middle, you can walk in this extreme, you can walk in that extreme. Similarly, you can walk in 3 different directions. So now having a cube, you are converting the cube to a Rubik's cube. See, you have path 1, path 2, path 3. Similarly, you can rotate in the other direction, path 1, path 2, path 3. Same way you can do in the third direction, path 1, path 2, path 3. So you have 9 different paths merely by walking, but you are not affecting the centerpieces. So you have totally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. On every face you have 9, or you can divide every Rasi into 9, because every phase it can oscillate in the clockwise or anti-clockwise. So it's 9 into 2, 9 here, 9 here, totally 18 you can have. So you will have 12 into 9s are 108 nakshatra padas. Or if you happen to walk like this one, step 1, you can call this one, this whole thing as a dasha or the direction. Okay, step 1, step 2, step 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like in each direction you can have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4 steps of one nakshatra. You can have, this is an avamsa chart. So step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Pada 1, pada 2, pada 3, pada 4 of one nakshatra. Similarly, you can have another nakshatra on the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically, you have 4 into 3 or 12 padas, which means 3 nakshatras in one direction, dasha. So for example, if you see here, they start with, this is Ketu, or the direction of Ketu, one of the paths. Okay, Ashwini is the star. It will have 4 padas. Ketu, 1, 2, 3, 4 padas. Magam, this is another Ketu star. You can see just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the 5th house of this one. This again is a Ketu star. It will be 1, 2, 3, 4 pada. Moolam, this is the third star. Again this is Ketu, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can break the path into one dasha direction into 3 nakshatras, each having 4 padas in the 4 faces of the cube. Now, to know in what order the nakshatras they come, if you say the Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, it will be in particular order in which the paths follow. To understand this one, you first place the part state upright or upside down in one line. You call it as the action. The getting or the begging state and giving, Rahu, Ketu. You put it in one line. When you keep the state of part which is neither upside or upright down, the in between state are the Saturn, the uncertainty state, in one extreme. So you have 2 states of boundary. One is nothing or the null set state, another is the universe set state. You can travel from this universe set also to the state of uncertainty, or the null set also to the state of uncertainty. In universe set moon, which means system, nothing is outside or everything is inside. Here you have two system, the system states are in the same line. The next thing what you do an action. You are having something, so you give it. So when you give, everything goes outside. The surrounding becomes Jupiter. And then from there you go to the state of chaos or the uncertainty. Start from sun or the nothing is inside. Venus, state of the system. Since nothing is inside, you have to beg or gather. It's the state of keeping the pot upright. You are gathering. Once you gather, everything is inside. That is state of Mercury. Then you reach the state of chaos. So the boundary, system and action are the surrounding chaos. In between you have the Lagna or the person. So you can do this as a cycle. Moon, Mars, Rahu, Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, Ketu, Venus, Sun. It's a cycle. But everything has to begin by gathering. So in the beginning, only when you start with Ketu, so you have to start by gathering. So the first thing, nakshatra will be Ketu, then it will be Venus, Shukran, then Sun, then Moon, then Mars, then Rahu, then Jupiter, Saturn, then Mercury. So there are 9 paths or 9 nakshatras in these 4 rasis. Again start again the same path: Ketu, Venus, Sun, Moon, Mars, Rahu, Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury. Again you can do the same thing again here, the 4th thing. So basically 9, 9, 9. There are 27 nakshatras, each with 4 steps, padas. 27 into 4 are 108. So nakshatra pada is also called a rega, or the line, or the path through which you travel. Since on a cube you have 9 boxes, you are traveling in one nakshatra or one path. While traveling, you will be seeing another path. While going in one path, you see another path, and you can't see a path, because if you are standing in this face of the cube, you are not seeing this path that is immediately surrounding this face. For this face, this path is invisible. So what is the relationship between the center and this path? So that is where you have to understand the telescopic and microscopic visions. See, when the null set is at the boundary, you can see something very clearly when it comes closer. Then this center is at the telescopic state or very far. So universe set is very far at the center, means null set is very close. Or null set is very far means universe set is very close. Similarly, the state of other side perspective. When the nothing is on this side, the null set is at very near, the universe set, corresponding universe perspective is very far. Which means you can't, for any, if the center is Mercury, then the corresponding path is Venus. the center is Venus, then the corresponding path surrounding it is Mercury. Similarly, Mars and Jupiter. So in this view, you can see that there are 6 faces of the cube, and there are 9 paths going in. On one direction you have 3 paths. Similarly, you have 1, 2, 3 paths here. Similarly, you have 1, 2, 3. Totally 9 paths are going. And you can also see that for moon, the closest boundary is sun. Similarly, for sun, the closest boundary is moon. If you wrap the cube out, you will see that the moon surface is like this way. Same is the case with Jupiter and Mars. Around Mars, this will be Jupiter. Around Jupiter, this will be the path of Mars. Around Mercury, this will be Venus. Around Venus, this will be Mercury. So, the nakshatra pathas, you can think it as where you stand or the dasha you are undergoing. And what you can't see are the circle around this center. And what you see would be based on where you stand. If you are standing here, you will see this path. If you stand here, there will be some other path going in here. The ideas like compassion, love, wealth, dilemma, these are all null set ideas. Here there are all universe set ideas. You will see null set ideas here, universe set ideas here, and you will see the middle things, Saturn, scattering Rahu, Ketu. This is what you will see. Depending upon the nakshatra, the corresponding perspective goes through. The initial condition doesn't happen randomly or haphazardly. It is a drama wherein, depending upon the role or the prior activities already done by each of these people, the sun, it becomes father, moon becomes mother, Mars becomes brother, Venus becomes wife. This is the ancestral father, ancestral mother, the male, the friend, female. Okay, this is the work or the karma or the past action or the elder brother. So whatever you see, the views would take the shape of some relationship that they will play on the drama that the individual perceives. So the drama would decide where, on what path each of these particular perspectives, views are placed on both the Rasi chart and also the Navamsa chart. If you see the Navamsa chart, Moon, Ketu, Jupiter, they all form on the same Navamsa. Mars, Saturn, Venus, they form on the same, these nakshatras will always form on this Navamsa. Similarly, Sun, Rahu, Mercury, these nakshatras, if some planet is in one of these nakshatras, they will always, these planets will be in these 4 houses. Also, the 2 and 3 are connected, 1 and 4 are connected in one way. If you can see, if you take this perspective, you can see 2 colors circle. Though so many paths are going in 108 ideas, you can see that there are only 2 colors, or only in one way or other they are either it is connected to the null set or the universe set. The